Hey everybody, it's Holly Love, and I am back on the red carpet at the 2018 Sundance Film Festival, and tonight I had a chance to interview the cast and characters of the movie Come Sunday, which is actually based on a true story, and we had a chance to even interview the bishop. What I love about this is it seems that the stories coming out of this festival have to do with asking the question, what are we doing and are we doing it right? And we had a chance to ask the cast and crew what they think and what they think about this film. Check it out. Tell me how you found this project and why you guys decided to get behind it.
We did this story originally as a radio story for our radio show This American Life, and a guy named Russ Cobb pitched it to us. We did it as a radio story. It was a hugely popular radio story. There's something about this minister who, at the height of his popularity and power, starts to preach that there is no hell. You go to heaven even if you don't believe in Jesus. He loses everything, stands on his principles. That seemed like a sort of classic Hollywood movie, a man who stands up for what he believes.
This story came to me, the radio show This American Life, which airs on National Public Radio, called me up and said, we have an old episode of the show which we've turned into a screenplay. Would you like to read it? They told me what the episode was. I had listened to it. I remembered it. I found it fascinating, and the screenplay was great. And that was what compelled me. It's a fascinating story in terms of subject matter, and the character is absolutely phenomenal.
So I did Completely Unknown. I saw him in 2016, and he asked me if I would do a role in his next movie, Come Sunday, this movie right here. And they explained to me the plot and everything else, and I thought it was very intriguing. Yeah. So I'm excited to see the film.
So I play Nikki, who is based on 3 different women, and she is the personal assistant to Bishop Carlton Pearson. And she remains loyal to him throughout all of the controversy and is sort of his protector. And also, I think that she is a person who she doesn't say much, but with a look, she can kind of level him when necessary. Yeah.
So I'm the lawyer at the beginning of the film that encounters Carlton on the airplane, and sort of a important, fun little moment in his experience, in his story. So it's really about him. Just sort of serve his storyline, I guess. But yeah, really fun.
I played Reggie. It came to me through Josh Marson. He sent me the script, and he'd seen something else I was in, and really liked it. So he asked me if I would play this part, and I read it and loved it because I grew up really deeply religious, and as I got older, began to question my spiritual beliefs, and went from religious to atheist, but passionate atheist. I felt that religion did a disservice to me, so I hated it for a long time. And then as I got older, I realized that the truth is too evasive to, if I'm saying that there is no God, I'm just like the people that are saying that there is a God, suggesting that I know the answer. And the truth is I don't know the answer, so I have to be honest with myself and say I just don't know, and that's okay to not know. So as I've grown, I've had to go through that journey, and this film and this character goes through a similar journey of just questioning himself and his sexuality, and if it's okay to be himself within the confines of religion, if it even makes sense at all to believe in it. So it was something personal for me, and it was cool.
I think the catalyst of this film is Bishop Carlton's curiosity. He starts asking questions. He starts asking God questions, and God answers him. And I think that when we are curious as human beings, we learn a lot instead of judging people on what we think we know. So I think that in a time like this, it's important for us to remain curious about each other, ask questions, because you don't know what you'll learn. And it just opens you up, and you blossom, you evolve, and get to a place of true acceptance of yourself, number one, and of others.
I really connected to the balancing act of the whole human experience. I agree with both sides. I believe both of it. So it was kind of it was really touching just to read a script like this. I've not experienced that before. Just feel super connected to the struggle of it all, I guess.
In film, we often talk about a character arc and people changing over the course of a movie, but it's very rare that you meet someone who's actually undergone a change. And this is someone who revised his thinking, went from one end of the spectrum, both theologically and politically to the opposite end, under the scrutiny of tens of thousands of people who all loved him and then mourned his loss and thought he was going to hell for what he was doing.
Right.
And so, among many other things, this film is a testament to someone having the courage to re-examine what they believe, be open to having that belief challenged, and to revising what they think. And what he chose to believe in was that we're all equal, we're all worthy of God's love, that it doesn't make any sense to imagine a God that would deny an enormous portion of humans going to heaven. And so even at a secular level, this is a movie about not discriminating, not judging, not writing off whole communities or whole countries or whole continents as irrelevant or rejectable, that everyone is worthwhile and everyone is to be included. And I think that's an important and valuable message.
There are almost no mainstream films about people of faith that try to capture the way people really live in this country. People of faith are portrayed in the corniest way, usually not just in movies and TV, but in the news. Like they're portrayed as these like crazy hothead, intolerant, unloving. Whereas when I think about the evangelicals who I know and I'm close to, they're exactly the opposite. They're like thoughtful, they're full of love, and I feel like this film shows the complicated reality of the evangelical church and people disagreeing within that church, but also people acting with love towards each other. I think, that's one thing I'm very proud of about the film. And why should people see it? People should see it because it's a great story. It's a great story. It's a guy, with a lot of beliefs. A lot of people around him panic when he does a thing that seems crazy to everybody, and people rally around him. And it's about whether or not we're all going to hell, which is a question that I think a lot of us should really ponder.
Sure.
And that's why people should see the film.
Well, I'm going to go find out if I'm on my way or where I'm going, right?
Yeah, okay.
Thank you so much for your time and good luck with everything.
Thanks so much.
The funny thing is that what is always kind of already in front of your face. You don't really have to search for it. I don't need anyone to tell me that it's bad to do something bad to someone because I feel what you feel. That's part of the reason why I like doing this job, is because I can get into different stories, and there's only one story, and that's the story of life. I feel like.
I don't think there's a better time to tell a story about a human being who discovers his own connection with a source of the divine without needing any permission from any institution or any other person. The idea that, whether you call it God, whether you call it divine energy, the universe, the idea that every human being has the right and the ability to connect to that source is such a beautiful and amazing idea.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
absolutely. Thank you.
There's a global shift in religious sensibilities. People are asking themselves what they believe, why they believe it, and how those beliefs add to or subtract from the quality of their lives. The millennials in particular, they're confronting us. They're saying, so why are you saying that? Why are you telling us that? You believe in a literal hell? You think that God's going to torture and torment people infinitely? And we're having to say, the Bible says that. Well, tell me about the Bible. Then most folk don't even know what the word Bible means. It just means book, but some people don't know. A lot of preachers can't tell you that. So I have a lot of preacher friends, bishops, leaders, who are reconsidering what they believe. We're talking.
Yeah.
We think we're coming into a new spirituality, a much more progressive one, non-judgmental, not all the dogma, and not some of the doctrine, and it's a freeing experience.
Wow. Well, thank you for being so brave and for starting the revolution. Nice to meet you
Thank
officially.
you for saying that.